Only 48 hours to go until WWE Extreme Rules, and I don't know about any of you guys, but I, for one, am looking forward to the show on Sunday, if only because Extreme Rules has always been great, dating back to its inception back in 2009, and every year since then, in my opinion, the show has either been good to great to awesome. Every single installment I've been enjoying, watching them all back on the WWE Network in recent days, weeks, whatever. But along with the events being great, also the theme songs have been great too. I made a video similar to this right before WrestleMania, ranking my top 5 favorite WrestleMania themes. Since there's only been 7 Extreme Rules events, and I mean only 7, there's a lot of pay-per-views that have had less than that, but it is kind of course, in its early stages in compared to Mania or SummerSlam or Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble, all those other kind of pay-per-views. So, I thought I would rank every Extreme Rules pay-per-view since its inception in 2009, because every theme song has been great as well, either good to great to awesome, much like the event itself. So, we'll break down my favorite in order from 1 through 7, starting with 7, my favorite Extreme Rules pay-per-view themes. Every single one, from least favorite to most favorite, to my top favorite. Starting with number 7, Time to Shine by Saliva. I thought this was a good song. I mean, like I said, every Extreme Rules theme has been great, so it's like hard to say that the number 7 one is the worst, or it's like the shittiest. It isn't really saying much, because all these other songs are so great as well, that it's kind of hard to say that this one is the worst. But still, I think it's a good song. I think Saliva is a great band. They also do this. They also did the theme song for Batista, I Walk Alone. And they also did a theme for Ladies and Gentlemen, WrestleMania 23, of course. I believe there's one other song that I have by them on my iPod, but this was the theme for the 2010 Extreme Rules show. A good song for a good show, not a great theme. I still thought it was good. Like I said, a good theme on any other pay-per-view, but compared to all the other great themes we've gotten in Extreme Rules history, I thought this was as fitting as number 7. So we get to number 6, Irresistible by Fall Out Boy for this year's Extreme Rules event, 2015. And I decided to put it number 6. I've already downloaded it on my iPod. The first time I heard it, I liked it. I don't love it yet. Maybe it will change on my ranking, its place on the rankings in years to come. But for the first few weeks, and since its birth, since it was announced as the Extreme Rules thing for this year, I've liked it for the most part. I've listened to it a few times. I already have it on my iPod. Fall Out Boy, a lot of people do not like. I'm not a huge Fall Out Boy fan, but the songs that WWE has used by them for their various shows and whatever in the last year or two have been pretty good. I enjoyed Phoenix and what was the other song? I think it was Phoenix for WWE 2K14 when they released that. I thought that was a good song. The song for Battleground 2013, its name escapes me right now, but so I forgot what the name of it was, but the theme for Battleground 2013 around that time, as well as WWE 2K14's release, as well as Centuries, which they used for the 10th or 15th anniversary show of SmackDown this past October. So they've had a lot of good themes by Fall Out Boy. Like I said, not the biggest fan of their band, but the song they're using for Extreme Rules. And I know this is a pretty big criticism of WWE pay-per-view themes, that it's not always rock-centric. And I'm in that camp as well. I'm on that boat. And then I believe that WWE should use themes that are more fitting to the wrestling genre. But when they get pop music, usually it's good, sometimes it's shitty. But like with Written in the Stars, or I Made It, like I talked about my top 5 WrestleMania themes, my top 5 favorite WrestleMania themes, they're not rock songs, but when WWE uses those kind of pop songs, they're good. I don't know if you would classify this song as pop, but it's certainly not rock, and I enjoy it though. So that comes at number 6. Number 5 on my list of my favorite Extreme Rules themes from 1 through 7. Coming in at number 5, Justice by Rev Theory. And a lot of the bands that do these songs are bands that WWE has used before. Like I said, with Fall Out Boy, it was with Irresistible, it was Fall Out Boy. Time to Shine, it was Saliva. Justice is no different. They use that was sung by Rev Theory, the same band that has done the themes for Extreme Rules 2008. Hell yeah, the theme for Randy Orton, obviously. They did another theme that escapes me right now. There's a couple themes they've done that I can't remember off the top of my head, but Rev Theory is a really, really good band. Would highly suggest that you check them out if you haven't already. But yeah, really, really good band, and I love this song. I thought it was a really good fitting theme for the 2011 installment of Extreme Rules, and every time I've heard it, not when it first came out. I didn't download it when it first came out. I don't know when I started liking it, maybe a couple years after that, but I don't know, listening to this song, it just reminded me of The Shield, because obviously it's called Justice, and I made an article about, like potential paper or superstar themes a couple of years ago, like dream booking scenarios and whatever. and I put this theme as the Shield, because they talk about justice and anarchy, and the rock rhythm kind of fit what the Shield was all about. Granted, the Shield's theme was iconic. I mean, it was instrumental. But sometimes you don't need to have lyrics in order to have a great theme. And if anything, you know, the second portion of the Shield theme was generic, as some people would say. But the beginning, the Sierra Hotel India Echo Lima Delta, the Shield part, was fucking awesome. Like, I would mark out every single time I heard that. So if you put that with this song, I thought it would have been a great theme for the Shield, but it was too far into their run to change the theme by that point. They should have just given it to them off the bat. And I know they can't usually use real songs as Superstars themes, more often than not due to royalties and copyright and all that other shit. But still, I thought it was a really good song and a good fitting theme for the 2011 installment of Extreme Rules. So coming in at number 4 from the following year, 2012 Extreme Rules theme, Adrenaline by shit. It escapes me right now. I'm going to have to look it up because this is going to bother me. I know I'm forgetting all these songs. Like I said, used for the 2011 show. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Shinedown, of course. I don't know how I forgot that. Shinedown's a good band. They used Devour by them for the 2008 show. I've got a couple songs by Shinedown on my iPod. They used some other song by them as well. Maybe for another pay-per-view or another Superstar. I'm going to double check right now. I have all the songs on my iPod, but I obviously should have been a little bit more prepared. I apologize. Sometimes I can only recognize a song from like listening to it, not by seeing it. Let's see here. I got a few songs by Shinedown. Oh, Bully. They didn't use that. Diamond Eyes, of course. How could I forget that? Diamond Eyes they used as a theme for Main Event when it first got started back in 2012. But yeah, Adrenaline, much like Justice, was not, like, I didn't love it off the bat. Like, I heard it. I thought it was a good theme. I didn't download it or anything at the time that, around the time of 2012's Extreme Rules pay-per-view. It was more of a thing that I heard it, I liked it, and that was pretty much it. Or I thought it was good. It wasn't until about a year and a half later that I think one of my friends here at college actually showed it to me because he knows what kind of music I like. I love rock music, and he started playing it. And I'm like, I know I've heard this song before. So, and I thought it was a great song when he showed it to me. I don't know why I didn't think it was great the first time, but anyway, after he showed it to me, I'm like, I know I've heard this song before. And then after searching it up, I found out it was the theme for the 2012 Extreme Rules pay-per-view. So then I downloaded it, loved it, thought it was a good theme. About adrenaline. It sounds like, you know, you're in a car race or something like that. I thought it was a really good theme. Again, these are all rock-centric. A lot of these are not pop or anything like that, with the exception of Irresistible and the next one on the list, or on number 2 on the list. But Adrenaline, again, another rock song by a good band that WWE has relied on before. I'm a Shinedown fan. Not a huge Shinedown fan, but there's a lot of different bands that have like certain songs from. I'm sure like a lot of people can relate in that. You have a few songs from a few different bands and a few others from a few other bands, you know what I mean? And that was kind of what I have with Shinedown. But I thought it was a good theme. The 2012 show I thought was awesome. I really enjoyed the 2012 event. I forgot to mention this too, but the 2011 Extreme Rules pay-per-view is probably my favorite, which is weird as to why it's not number 1 in terms of my favorite themes. That was a good song. The 2012 pay-per-view was awesome as well. That was the year that we had Punk and Jericho in the Chicago Street Fight, Brock Lesnar's return match against John Cena. We had, for the World Heavyweight Championship, Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan in that 2 out of 3 count falls match. An excellent match from start to finish. So I love that show, and I thought the theme was good as well. It's one of those songs that you hear it first, and you don't love it instantly, and it does take some time to grow on you, and that's exactly what this song was done. That was exactly the case with this song. So we move into my top 3 here in terms of ranking every Extreme Rules pay-per-view theme. In my opinion, this is all subjective, of course. You might have your own list. Coming in at number 3, though, is Live It Up. The same band that did, by Airborne, the same band that did the theme for Mr. Kennedy. The second one, of course, the first one was, I don't know who it was by, You Kennedy! And they remixed the song by Airborne in 2008, I want to say. And they also used Airborne for the theme of the 2008 Royal Rumble, Stand Up for Rock and Roll, which I thought was a great song. I loved that the first time I heard it. And Live It Up was one of those things I always go out of my way to listen to the pay-per-view themes for each pay-per-view to make sure like if I like it or not. And if I don't really like it, then I won't download it. Like the themes for Fastlane, I didn't really care for. I thought it was dumb. Kid Ink, I think it was. He did another song for WrestleMania I did not really care for. Like I heard Rise by David Guerrero or whatever his name is. Loved it, downloaded it immediately. That was kind of the same thing with this too, Live It Up. and that it kind of grew on me a little bit more and more and more over time. This really long opening without any lyrics, just kind of you hear planes flying over the air and stuff like that, and it just breaks in, much like Stand Up for Rock and Roll. So I think it's a really good song. It's kind of on the lengthy side, about 4 or 5 minutes, but it was a great song for, again, another really good pay-per-view. The 2013 Extreme Rules show featured Cena versus Ryback in the last man standing match for the WWE Championship. You had Brock Lesnar versus Triple H in a steel cage match in the main event. And you had a few other matches as well. You had Del Rio versus Swagger in an I Quit match. You had The Shield winning all gold on that night with Dean Ambrose winning the United States Championship, and then Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins winning the tag team titles. So I thought the 2013 show was really, really good, and a good theme to accompany it as well. Live It Up by Airborne. So up next, number 2, the second best Extreme Rules pay-per-view theme in history, Come With Me Now by Conga, right? Conga or Conga? Again, I'm not really familiar with all of these bands. Most of them I am. Let me just double check. But of course, this was a song for the 2014 Extreme Rules pay-per-view from last year. And let's see here. By Congos, excuse me, by Congos. So again, like I said before, every single time WWE releases their, I should have written the sheet down. I wrote the list down. I didn't write the artist down. So I'm looking at my phone as we speak. But, this was another song where I always, like I said before, I always go to check out the theme, when it's first announced, to make sure I like it. And I love this song, downloaded it immediately. And it's not your typical rock song. It's not like Time to Shine or Adrenaline or Justice. It has its own beat. I'm not a huge music fan. I listen to my music all the time, but I couldn't tell you like one genre from another. Like I could tell like rock from country, obviously, but the specifics of alternate and heavy metal or Christian rock and stuff like that, I really don't know for the most part. I'm just music illiterate in that sense, but I do like music of that genre. This genre is a little bit different, a little bit more upbeat, but I don't know. I thought it was really catchy. Loved it at the time. Still love it now. Still listen to it in the days going up to preceding Extreme Rules. But the interesting thing about this song is that, and this would not be the first time either, that, and I'm not saying it was because of WWE, that it became mainstream shortly after WWE started using it. And maybe WWE just got on the train early, I'm not really sure. But after WWE used it for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, it was maybe about a month or so later on the radio that I heard it started being played. Throughout the summer, too, not just for like a few weeks, but I heard a lot of people say that they enjoyed it too, but it was kind of like the theme for the summer of 2014 for a lot of people. A really good song that was also used in the Expendables 3 for a brief period of time, and all the commercials and advertisements and movie trailers too. So that's what it's also kind of associated with. But a really good song, really enjoyed that. Again, it's interesting that it kind of makes it number 2 on my list because it's not your typical rock song, but still I really enjoyed it, along with the memories that go along with it, along with the fact that not only was it the theme for Extreme Rules for 2014, it was also kind of the theme for the summer of 2014 as well, and going to see Expendables later that year. My roommate loves that song too, without even knowing that it was a theme for Extreme Rules. So again, I don't think like it becomes mainstream because of WWE. I highly doubt that, but same thing with I Made It and Written in the Stars. I've always seen themes, that WWE's used for their pay-per-view. I've always seen songs that WWE uses as their themes for pay-per-views, and then they later go mainstream. Like I first am introduced to them through WWE, and maybe if I wasn't, maybe I wouldn't like them. Who knows? Maybe it's just the fact that they're associated with wrestling that I like them so much. But still, number 2, Come With Me Now by Congos. And of course, number 1, this should go without a doubt. I mean, I did have some trouble ranking this list because every single song is great, but my number 1 is undisputed, and anyone who knows me or has seen this pay-per-view would know that it's my number 1. You're Going Down by Sick Puppies. I don't know any other songs by them. I think I was subscribed to them for a while, like through email updates and stuff like that. But truth be told, I have no other songs by them except for this song. It was used as the theme for the 2009 installment of Extreme Rules. One of my favorite pay-per-views. I don't know. It's hard to say. I would have to make a list of my top 5, top 10 pay-per-views. But it is a great pay-per-view, though. I always enjoy watching it back. There's some matches that are a little bit less stellar than others. I mean, I did a review of the show if you want to check it out. Cheap plug here in the channel last year in Wrestle Rant, my Wrestle Rant video series. But I don't know. It just kind of brings me back to that time period. And I noted on Twitter while watching Extreme Rules, or maybe it was Backlash a couple days ago, and along with the pay-per-views, but the themes too, that in watching old pay-per-views from 08, 09, 2010, or listening to songs, pay-per-view themes from those time periods, it brings me back to that time in my life. And I'm not sure, and for a lot of people, it's not going to be those same time periods. Those are just the time periods that I grew up as a wrestling fan, having started watching in April of 2008, now 7 years. And I don't know, just listening to this song kind of brought me back to my 8th grade year in middle school. I was just finishing up, and I loved this song. I would listen to it all the time. I thought the Extreme Rules pay-per-view was great. Kind of my theme for the month of June in 2009, right around the time of my birthday. And yeah, it was pretty cool. So like songs like that, you'll always have a sentimental, correlation with it. That's what makes these songs my favorite. I'm not saying like based off, I don't know, like, I'm not ranking them, like, scientifically or anything like that. This is all biased. This is all subjective. This is all my opinion. And we all have an opinion. So, of course, your first one may be Time to Shine. Mine is You're Going Down. Mine is You're Going Down. Because I think it's a great song. Enjoy it. Great rock song for a great show. So, like I said, maybe if you're watching old pay-per-views on the network from 1999, from when you started watching, or maybe in the 80s or whatever, or you're listening to a song, like I'm sure, maybe not this exact equivalent, but, what You're Going Down is for me is what My Way might be for you by Limp Bizkit from WrestleMania 17. It kind of brings you back to that time period as a wrestling fan, or maybe even in your life. That kind of goes with a lot of pay-per-view themes I've noticed over the last, 10, 15, 30 years for a lot of different people. But still, enjoy Extreme Rules every single year. Hopefully we will get another great show on Sunday. And this year's theme is also continuing the strong streak of great Extreme Rules themes. So make sure to check out all these themes on YouTube, iTunes, whatever. Just a little brief recap in a nutshell here for those that missed it or tuning in halfway through, whatever. Number 7, Time to Shine by Saliva. 6, Irresistible by Fall Out Boy. Number 5, Justice by Rev Theory. Number 4, Adrenaline by Shinedown. Number 3, Live It Up by, I keep on forgetting the artist, Airborne. Number 2, Come With Me Now by Congos. And number 1, You're Going Down by Sick Puppies. All great songs. Hopefully you guys check them out. And I would love to hear your list as well, either down in the comments on Facebook at facebook.com/grave.gsm.matthews, or maybe even on the Twitter at Wrestler. Make sure to tweet me your favorite Extreme Rules themes as Extreme Rules quickly approaches. So as always, guys, I appreciate the support. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next couple of days, maybe next week, with another random video blog. Until then, guys, have a great weekend, and I'll catch you then.